You've got mail.
Hey!
Bruh.
Pew, pew.
Hilly daddy, holarodi.
All week long.
All rise, order in the court. No contempt. Anybody can be late because we were late today, so it's fine. We're not gonna call anybody. I didn't even see that Sed was on, and also I did not see that Herman was there.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Unless I'm losing my mind. We do have a lot of subscriptions to a lot of courts, though, including one that I don't think that we've been. I want to start with something a little bit different. We'll see. It could be good. I don't know. Nuisance and abatement. And what that is I think they're trying to get some buildings torn down or things like that, get people out of there. I think.
I like the sound of that. Nuisance.
Our guy, that is a good enough excuse to miss court today. You are hereby
that I'm fighting with a keyboard shit you usually come in here with.
That's right. That's a much better one than saying that you're fighting with a keyboard. Anyways, we'll catch up with everybody in the comments. Nice little crowd. Very good. We got a case 5 days a week, 1 o'clock East. Some Tuesdays and Thursdays will be a little bit late, just so you know, because we do a voyage. We jump around in some different courts.
This is like one of the slowest judges in all of judgedom.
I was going to say, that's why I say, let's go over here and see what's going on here. Like I said, nuisance and abatement.
Council entered a
Judge Mannheim
for Mr. Wedderburn, who I see here.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I've got you here. Thank you. Do you see Mr. Cowan? Somebody forwarded just right before the calendar. Right, I was already logged on.
John Magnum down there.
I know my.
Your Honor, I think Mr. Cohen is pretty busy. He has
the smallest penis of all on the panel.
He has to be in Superior Court today.
Okay, well,
unfortunately,
sit tight. We may or may not move forward
shut
with
up.
the case, but sit tight for me.
And Judge, if I may, I'm sorry to interrupt.
Shut up!
Someone from his office did just send an email to ask to hold for his report.
But that's the answer I like to hear. Okay.
Oh.
Let's hold for counsel's report. I don't know if you got a copy of an entry of appearance. I literally did.
Hi,
right
Princess.
I was trying to log on.
I just got the email too, Your Honor.
Terminator.
I will hold.
Okay, thanks.
Double
Let's
F.
go back to position number 2, which is 3227 Robinson Avenue, Scottsdale, 30079. Mr. Mangum, thank you for pulling over. What is your relationship
and pulling
to
out,
property?
Mr. Magnum? Thank you.
I am the manager of the entity that owns the property. It's owned by an entity called Scottsdale 30 LLC.
An entity that doesn't exist?
An entity. It's a ghost.
And is this your first time here?
Yes, ma'am.
And have you had an opportunity to talk to Mr. Daniel yet? He's the county attorney.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yeah, and she's looking at our appetizer menu.
Thank you.
Tiff, no. If you have a
Position
link
number
to
4,
that, let us know.
And 00023, DeKalb County versus 6941 through 48 Brannan Hill Road.
Okay.
I believe, Mr. Candler, this is your case.
Oh shoot! I meant to listen to the
publication issue,
so we could
and
pull
at
up pictures of
12:22
the
PM,
property.
Somebody from your office filed an amended publication. Is that accurate?
Correct, Judge. It was continued for a publication issue.
That's what I'm thinking.
I believe you should have received as filings today the certificate of compliance, the notice of filing of publisher's affidavit. Then we corrected it because we actually had an incorrect exhibit originally.
Yeah, I can understand that, Kerry.
And then most
Kid
recently,
stuff, man.
we had sent pictures that we normally use as exhibits to Judge McNeil, actually, as she was the judge of the last calendar. But I believe we've just forwarded those to you as well.
All right. I have not seen those pictures yet, but are you ready to go forward today?
I am, Your Honor.
And is there anybody in the courtroom today present on 6941 through 6948 Brannan Hill Road? All right, next position is 22N00022, DeKalb County versus 6961 through 6968 Brannan Hill Road. Mr. Alexis, my notes show that that's your case, also continued from June. Although my clerk said something about the fact that did somebody want to continue it for today? Or what's the announcement on that case?
Yes, Judge, that case was continued from the last calendar.
Judge
due to
Manheimer.
absence. We did file the necessary and updated documents in terms of the publisher's affidavit and things of that nature, the certification of compliance. However, I did get some word by email that one of the interested parties or owners via counsel filed a leave of absence. And I was assuming that the court would continue this case based on that request.
You assume wrong.
I actually haven't seen that, but I'll take a look. I likely will. I just saw the person who put in the chat box that you're here for 6948. We'll come back to you in a second.
Hello, Paul.
Why don't you sit tight since you have to press something else? So let me
Chad.
hop into Odyssey to see if I see that leave. I had not seen that, so we may end up having to continue it. Thank you for letting me know, though.
And one more thing, Your Honor, I believe there is someone here who has an interest in one of those properties. If the court does decide to continue this case, I would at least like to be placed in a breakout room with one of these interested parties.
So I have a message in my chat box here that I'm here for 6948, and that's
69.
Thanks for hitting me
Is
up
there
in my
anybody here
chat box, if you
for
know what I mean.
6961 through 6968.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, great. Thank you. Tell me, is your last name, are you Ms. Getty?
Gadai, yes.
Okay. And what's your relationship to 6968?
69 is 6961 is I'm a owner,
Okay.
and 6968, yeah.
Huh?
And
She owns these properties?
thank
Said
you for being here. We will come back to you. We'll see if this, I don't know what will happen with this case today, but we'll certainly get you in the right.
Nice.
place.
Thank you, Tiff.
Okay, thank you.
All right, 22N00024, DeKalb County versus 1407 Peachcrest.
By the way,
Road.
we're setting up and licking.
like I
Not
did
ready
too.
yet, but we're setting up.
Yes.
Oh,
the county is
fantastic.
ready, Your Honor.
Okay, is there anybody here on 1407 Peachcrest Road?
So if I'm getting this
Wait a
right,
minute. Been bamboozled.
they are setting up with
Um,
multiple properties first before they move on. I
22N00025.
hate to say this. I'd rather just look at this podium right now and tell you about Friday night, 9:00 East over on Twitch. We invite you to join us, just so you know. Right there it is. Watch party on Patrol Live. Used to be Live PD. It's gonna be a good time, as they say. Good time. Good times. Good times.
If you watch Reels, it comes up on the screen every 15 minutes.
No, I definitely believe that. Let's jump over to Judge Boyd while we're getting ready for things to ramp up over in Licking County.
Any objection?
No objection.
Nice outfit.
Better
Better purse.
Court admonishments and defendant's waivers and affidavit of
Yes.
applications. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it in all the appropriate places? In paragraph A, you're charged with the offense of robbery. That's a second-degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand? If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement,
Thank you,
against
Lisa.
more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw.
I think
your
the
plea.
flowers
Did
look a
you
little
understand?
better today, too.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yet.
Did you
Like-
understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights? And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
I'll look, Nancy. I'm not sure.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses to this offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's currently competent, was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor, I do.
Mr. Ambrose, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, Your Honor.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement?
No, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied with the way you?
Anyone asked you to like this video?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, Your
The
Plies.
defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page, did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
According to the plea bargain agreement, state is proceeding on paragraph A. Punishment is to be assessed at 5 years in the prison. There are no applications.
5 years.
Record current with 2021 CR 11653, 2021 CR 11654, and the state will take into consideration 2022 CR 6646. Did you understand that to be the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense, is that plea bargain agreement?
It is, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Judge.
Next, I'm showing you
Dude,
the
hell, that's just-
waiver of appeal
that's
paragraph.
here.
Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it in both?
They have woken up and made
Did you
the
understand
bed,
by
just so you
signing
know.
that
So
you
we'll have to
waive
see
your
who
right to
sleeps on
appeal
that
the
side of the
only
bed.
items that can be appealed are written pretrial
Sorry.
motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, have there been any such
Pass.
motions?
No, Your Honor.
Then to the offense as charged in paragraph A, how did you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Blueberry,
State any evidence.
blueberry and walnut
State offer states typically-
muffin.
No, Judge.
It's got a lot of cinnamon in it. Never had one like this.
All right, I'm going to show you what's entitled waiving consent to stipulation.
I wouldn't
of
expect the
testimony and
cinnamon on that
stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it in all?
Are
the
we,
appropriate- Again, did you understand you have a right?
Oh, come on,
to-
man. Oh, come on.
Did you understand that today the state will be
I
presenting
got it.
evidence in the form of
We're fixing
witnesses,
it. Go ahead.
statements, and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Done some work for the property owner to try to make it right, and I
Let's just slow
thought,
down for a second. I heard you, but I just want to, we're going to go real slow to
Who's
make
your
sure that we get this exactly correct.
I
You
don't
know
know.
what I'm talking about, right?
yes, Your Honor.
You'd be surprised. Sometimes people are like, what are you talking about? I didn't know this charge. You know about the charge.
Yes,
Okay. You're in jail today. Today is Thursday, 21 July. How long have you been in jail?
Matt, Nate,
for 2 days.
Okay. What
Gamer.
caused you to be put in jail? Was there a warrant for your arrest and they located you a couple days ago and brought you in?
Mike,
Yes,
And why did you not show up originally when you had a court date? Because this case is,
You notice how they always
I
ask
didn't
how
have
long?
I didn't have an original court date, or I didn't get it because they ran it's or I don't know. It was under. I honestly, I really don't know.
okay.
Oh, good
I,
answer. Good answer.
I didn't think I had a court date that I was aware of anyway.
So somebody else wants you. That's right. There's some other charge from some other court that you have to talk to them about.
Yeah.
And so no matter what I do today, you need to stay there until you get that other charge resolved with another judge. Is that true?
Yes, but is there, would there be any way that I could ask for an OR bond on this?
Well, we're going to talk about that in a second. But if somebody else has a holder on you, if some other judge has a holder on you, then whether or not I give you an OR bond is
Tonight.
getting him out of jail. You understand?
a judge don't get out much.
Well, I'm going to court today, here at like 2:30. They told me to tell you that I have, that's why they put me first.
Okay. So that's the only other case that you have is the one you're going to do later today?
Yes, sir.
Looks like a nice
Well, first,
crowd.
let's do the arraignment. Let's make sure you understand. So I read you the date and the charge, and you told me you understood what I was talking about. We now at the arraignment, this is where you're going to have to enter a plea. Everybody has a chance to enter a plea. Every defendant, and if so, anyone who can hear me should listen now so that you'll know this for your own case. Everybody has a choice of entering one of three pleas: guilty, not guilty, or no contest. Let me explain what they are. Guilty, if you say that now, what you're saying is,
No
yep,
trial.
I did what they said I did. Yep, I broke the law. And yep, I'm ready to be sentenced right now. That's, if you say guilty, that's what that means. If you say not guilty, you say, I want a trial. I would like to come back on a different day. I might have a lawyer with me, although I don't have to have a lawyer. One can be appointed for you if you can't afford one. And I'm going to come back on a different day, and I'm going to make the prosecutor try to prove this case. The prosecutor will bring witnesses, and I'll have a chance to ask them questions. I can bring my own witnesses. I can ask them questions. I can present evidence. That's what happens if you plead not guilty. You're saying, I want a trial. The third possible charge is, or way you could plead is no contest. No contest is, I am not going to argue with the facts that are in the complaint.
I ain't got time for this.
I understand I'm probably going to be found guilty. I'm just not going to dispute the facts. If you do that, then you're found guilty and we sentence you today. So there's two ways to have the case resolved today: guilty and no contest. And there's one way to have a trial down the road where you can get a lawyer involved if you want, and you can make the prosecutor try to prove the case.
Don't say that we're
Those
not
are
an
the three
educational
possible
channel.
pleas.
Look at
Mr.
us.
Lewis, do you understand those three options?
Yes, sir.
Do you want to ask me any questions about those three options that I just described to you?
No.
Because it's important that you understand what's happening. So
Have you
up
seen the
until
people
now,
in
you
this court?
understand what the charge is. You understand what we're doing now, which is you're going to enter a plea, and then we will go from there. So what plea do you want to enter? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Can't you do
I
insanity?
would like to just enter a no contest plea because and if you could, I don't know if you could check or anything, but I've made it right with the property owner.
Property
Hold on
owner.
for just a second. I just want to make sure I understand what you're saying.
No contempt
I heard you
today,
say
Ed. We
you'd like
relate
to enter a no contest plea. And if it sounds like I favor one or the other, please don't think that. I don't have any opinion about which one you should pick for any case. I have no opinions about what you should pick. I'm just explaining it. I heard you say you
The
want
old
to pick
judge
the
will tell you
no
your
contest
best
plea,
move.
which means you're not going to dispute with the facts, what the facts are in the complaint, and you recognize that you'll be found guilty today, and then I'll make a decision about a sentence. Is that what you want to do, sir?
Yes, sir.
And again, I'm not trying to talk you out of it. What I'm about to say to you, I have to say to everybody. So don't take this as me trying to talk you in or out of anything. Do you know that you don't have to plead no contest?
Yes, sir.
Do you know that if you pled not guilty, you could have a trial if you wanted one, and you're giving up that right to have a trial? Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
And all of the different things that I said would happen at a trial, you could call witnesses, you could present evidence, you could subpoena witnesses to make them appear, you could force the prosecutor to
right
prove
with the
his
property
case,
owner.
you could question his witnesses.
I'm getting it.
You could have a jury hear the case, a jury of your peers could sit and hear it. When you plead no contest, you give up all those rights. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, sir.
I find that you do understand what's happening. So I find that you have an understanding of the case against you.
Well, I'll tell you what,
and that
pro
have an
tip,
understanding of your no contest plea.
if you ever
And I
want to
will
search
enter
for
a
live court,
no contest plea on your behalf.
don't
based on
use
what you
court,
just told
use
me.
Zoom.
And I have reviewed
As-
this complaint. It is properly drafted.
Zoom court's what I always
So
put.
as a result, I
There
will make
is
a
so much I'm
finding
getting.
of guilty on the second degree misdemeanor, knowingly causing or creating a substantial risk of physical harm to the property of another. So you are now guilty of that charge. And now, remember, you were going to try to tell me something about what you've done and what happened. You remember that?
Yes, sir.
Now is the time. Why don't you start with what happened, what was going on, and then you can tell me all the things you've done to try to make it right. And then I'll make a good decision about what an appropriate sentence is. You understand?
Yes. I accidentally broke a window of somebody's car, and I went back and I talked to the owner, Chuck, and he had me cut his grass, and he's going to have me build.
Cut his grass.
And I was unaware of that the police were looking for me either. So, but I don't want to waste any more of anybody's time.
Are we talking about you breaking a vehicle's rear windshield, tail lights, and rear driver's side window with a hammer?
Yes.
More
Yeah, I
just
wanna make
one
sure I'm
window
on the same-
broken.
because I'm reading from one of the witness statements.
Sounds
I'm
less
still
like an
listening. Keep
accident
talking.
than I
I'm
thought.
listening to everything you say.
I talked to him, and he told me that I wasn't gonna have any charges. Like he told me I've been to his house, and he told me that the cops weren't looking for me, and that he was telling that he had it dismissed. But
And when you say he, are you talking about Charles Huston?
yes, Your Honor.
Okay. How do you know him?
He's
Lover.
just a friend.
You know, it's a friend of yours, you know. And what made you angry enough to break his rear windshield, taillights, and rear driver's side window?
Damn.
I thought my girlfriend was at his house.
So you thought there was something going on between them?
Yeah.
Okay, I understand. And earlier you said you did something to make it right. You want to tell me what that was?
He had me cut his grass and just pull some weeds in the front yard, and he was gonna have me build a fence.
Okay. So
Well,
you
extend his fence.
I beg your pardon, sir?
He was gonna have me extend his fence.
He's
around
literally
his garage.
Is what you're telling me is that after the breaking of the window, you talked to Mr. Huston and you agreed to do some work for him in return for the fact that he has to get his windows fixed. Is that what you're telling me?
Yes, and we fixed the back window.
You helped him fix the back window?
Yes, we put plastic
Yes.
over.
Right. Yes.
And
duct tape, of course. Masking
you didn't
tape.
realize that this charge was still going forward, so you thought it was kind of behind you?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you did some of the work already, but you've not done all of the work you said you were going to do for him?
Yes.
Now, before all this happened, were
My
you
girlfriend
working
was
somewhere? Were you
frustrated,
employed
like-
somewhere?
Yeah, I build fences.
Do you work for yourself or do you work for somebody else?
Be a fun
I'm
race
a
to go.
subcontractor. So yeah, for myself.
Tell me what you think that means. I want to understand what you're doing here.
I subcontract through Streamline Fence.
So people pay you directly or they pay somebody else who pays you?
I get paid through somebody else. I just subcontract.
And so if you weren't in jail, would you be working right now?
Yes.
There's enough work for you to work?
Yes.
And how long have you been working doing this?
About 4 years.
So you're able to pay your bills by doing this work?
Yes.
Okay, I like this
And
chart.
who do you live with?
I live with my grandma. Well, she lives with me in Westerville.
Are you sure about that?
How old are you, sir?
I'm 27.
And have you been in jail before other than this incident?
And I like that, Damon.
Yes.
Tell me about the longest time
Most
you've been
don't
in jail
ask
before.
enough questions.
Mm-hmm.
I went to prison for possession.
Possession of drugs?
Yes.
How long were you in prison?
And receiving, I think it was like 18 months.
You'd served 18 months in prison for possession of drugs. Is that what you said, sir?
Yes.
And are you on parole from that incident?
No, sir.
How long ago was that?
It's been about 2.5 years.
This would be me.
Are you on parole or probation anywhere?
No, sir.
I think I understood what happened because I was listening to what you said. And I want to give you a chance to say anything else you want to say before I decide what the sentence on this matter is going to be. You don't have to, but this is your chance.
I just apologize to everyone for, and I just would like to put it behind me.
Yes, Ed. So therefore,
Give me a
she
moment.
would-
I'm filling out some paperwork, so stay right there and just give me a moment, okay?
while he fills out paperwork very quickly, I want to show you this camera that I came across. I don't know. Is this like is it a competition of sorts? Anybody speak Russian? I think that's Russian.
It must be. They got like the days up there counting them
Yeah.
off.
Oh, the guy just came up. See the chalkboard looking thing? The guy just came up and wiped out the 5 and put the 6 on. I don't know what the hell this is.
Are they trying to win that couch?
I don't know. I see the little YouTube thing down on the side. I don't know. I'm gonna keep an eye on that though. I'm wondering if it's a competition of sorts or what.
You told me today is Thursday, I think. You told me you were arrested Tuesday. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Ooh, protective order court. Ooh. It's a Russian IKEA. If it was a Big Brother, it's just a shot of them on a couch, though. God bless. Well, Charles,
Yeah.
state of Tennessee.
Well, I do have at least a drawing of what happened when we went to the guy's house and destroyed the car. I mean, he was assuming his girlfriend was there. No evidence whatsoever that the girlfriend was there. No evidence.
Here we go, Mr. Lewis. Before I tell you your sentence, I want you to know, even when you're mad, you're not allowed to break people's stuff. You know that.
Oh.
Yeah,
Right?
but I mowed his lawn.
Of course, you knew that when it happened, didn't you? And so, sounds like you have some trouble controlling your anger.
Burn.
Is that true?
Speak up, son.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I lost control.
Yeah, you're gonna have to do better. You don't want to go back to prison. You don't want to spend a lot of time in jail. You've got some other charge that you're talking to somebody about today. That's not my affair. That's up to
Hey,
you.
shirtless dad, you tell the
Just
Duke
gonna have
boys
to
we
get
said
some
hello?
better decisions and be careful about your anger, sir.
I'm surprised to see.
I think you were smart to get with a victim and talk to him. I think that was smart. So good for you for doing that. I took that into account when I made my decision. Here's
That
my
is nice.
decision.
He truly did go.
Fine
down,
is
Sheldon.
$750. I'll suspend $500. What does suspend means? It means you don't have to pay that part. So 750 minus 500 means you'll pay $250 as a fine. You'll pay $100 in court costs. So that's the monetary portion. Do you understand the monetary portion I just told you?
Yes, sir.
Now the jail portion goes like this. I'm going to order 30 days in jail, and I'm going to suspend 25 days. What does suspend means? It means you don't have to serve them. So what's 30 minus 25 is 5 days. And you already told me you have 3 days of credit, because Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday is 3 days of credit.
I think it's 2.
That tells me you have 2 days left on this case. So if the judge you see this afternoon were to let you out or to give you an OR or whatever the issue is, you would have 2 days on this case before you can leave the jail. So that tells me you're going to be there at least 2 days, because I've given you essentially 2 more days for this crime.
Again.
As part
Education
of my sentence, I've ordered 1 year of probation. The probation department will tell you things you're going to have to do to stay square with them. One of them will be, if the victim wants restitution, you will have to pay the restitution. If the victim doesn't want the restitution because he thinks you've already taken care of it, then you won't have to pay it, of course. But it's only fair, don't you think, that if he wants to have restitution, that you should have to pay it. Do you agree?
Yes, I do.
So moving forward,
there's
once
only
you're going
like
to get
2
out,
other
you're going to come over here and see the
I'm like
clerk, and they're going to give you a payment date for
minutes
when
to
you're going
take
to have
care
to
of this
pay
guy.
that fine, which, if you remember, was $250.
We're
And
long.
then you're going to have to
long
talk to one of the
form, if you will.
probation officers who will tell you what you have to do to make sure that you are
Little
in
word.
compliance with what they want.
I tell you what.
Any questions for me, sir?
No, sir.
2 more days and $250, and this case will be behind you except for probation.
I would ask
Good
for
luck,
a
sir.
couple more days so I don't have to
Can you give me another 50 bones? out
Next
of
case
the-
I have on my pile is State versus, it looks like Dearth. D-E-A-R-T-H. Do we have a Mr.
Dearth?
Dearth? It's a Ms. Dearth. Hello, Ms. Dearth.
Hello.
Am I pronouncing your name correctly?
Dearth.
I want to
Nope,
make sure
that's
I'm
right.
pronouncing it correctly. You're Ms. Dearth.
Yep.
All right. Because I don't look at files before we come out here, would you just stand there for a moment and think about what you're going to talk about while I read the file, and so we can talk in a minute here?
Oh my God, this guy!
Why don't you use that time to gather your thoughts?
I really like this guy.
Take a minute and think about if I was to ask you what one topping you would like on a hot dog if you could only have mustard, ketchup, onions, or chili. Take a minute and think about that, Miss Dirt.
Joe Dearth.
Miss Dirtay.
Oh, Deborah.
Yes, is this your client? Come on up. I'm sorry. You got a lawyer here. Do you want a lawyer?
Oh.
Yeah.
He looks like a good one. Would you make
He
your,
is.
would you enter you're there, counsel? Would you enter your appearance, please?
Dirt Woodman Flyer.
009-3383.
Say the last name again for me.
Tabor, Your Honor.
Spell.
T-A-B-O-R.
Mr. Tabor, good to see you. Have you had ample time to talk to your client?
Thank you, Taco.
I haven't, Judge. I was just retained in Miss Dearth's case this morning by her
I'm
family.
going to look at the staff. Do we have any ability to have him talk to her offline where I can hear another case? Can you do a call over to there? You want to?
How the jail does it.
Yeah.
Is this an arraignment?
Oh, that's interesting. Breakout room.
Well,
I
although
mean,
the paperwork I have in front of me looks like a probation violation.
she's over there. He's in
I was
court.
just when you and thank you for stepping up. Of course, you did the right thing by saying that.
They need to talk.
I'm opening up. The first thing I see is a probation violation. Does
And
that
he
sound
looks
familiar
like
to
a
you?
villain.
It does, Judge.
Are we arraigning on a different charge?
She had an arraignment at 1 o'clock in common pleas court on a different charge, Your Honor, related to this incident. My understanding is that probation has issued a revocation because she was on supervision here. Part of that supervision included wearing a scram monitor. Because they lost track of her, common pleas court sought an indictment for a felony theft offense of the scram monitor, which is the charge that she was just arraigned on moments ago in common pleas court. So they're related matters. I'm familiar with, to an extent, the underlying facts and circumstances.
So if we have a theft of a scram monitor, that's a felony and that's over in common pleas, yes?
Correct.
And this started as a misdemeanor matter and some form of probation. What was the original?
Dare you
So glad
scare
you're here, Mr. Tabor. What was the original underlying charge that started this whole episode? So there was an OVI, and there's some jail days hanging over from the OVI. And is there another Mr. And there used to be another lawyer in this case. It looked like named Malika. Is that your firm or is that a different lawyer?
It's not, Your Honor. I'm not familiar.
He lives
Is that
on the
previous
second floor.
Matthew Malika. Ms. Dirk, did you have a lawyer named Matthew Malika at one point?
Yes, I did.
Malika.
It's Matthew Malika. You were right.
Okay, I just want to make sure I got the right file and I'm looking at the paperwork. And so that's back in 2020, counsel. And so I have endangering children charges here. Are you familiar with these? These are also from 2020.
My understanding is that they're out of the same facts and circumstances.
Okay.
That may have had children in the car.
And it looks like there was a change of plea to an attempt, and there was a sentence on that of 90 days and a $750 fine. Does that sound right, Ms. Dirth?
Yeah, and I was sentenced to 3 days in jail, and then I went to a 3-day driving intervention program at a hotel.
Yeah, I'm just going backwards through the files towards today. I see a motion for an oral hearing from Ms. Davison, which is still a 2020 motion, it looks like. July, 2021, actually. Now comes the plaintiff, the prosecutor scheduled oral hearing on the above captioned matter.
Maybe you remove it and then lose it? I don't know.
The sentence should now be imposed. I can't imagine. And then there was a hearing on that of August of last year, and then perhaps a failure to
Can you
show.
imagine?
Yes.
Might have gotten us to where we
Have
are.
I caught us up to where we are, counsel?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Dirth, it appears as though, and I'm surprised we don't have the city attorney here, the law director here. It appears as though this was going to be a discussion about whether or not you violated your probation for doing a series of things on this checklist here. Not completing outpatient counseling, not reporting to a probation officer, consumption of alcohol, and numerous violations on scram. That's what there was going to be discussed. Ma'am, why weren't you at the hearing that was originally set for 11 August of last year?
Because I was terrified, because I've never been in trouble.
Okay. And so, Mr. Tabor, do you agree with me, or does any of the staff disagree that that's the only thing you really have in front of us right now?
We're already on scrams. You must have gotten a little bit of
It's not a new
trouble.
charge that you know of. This is a probation.
Simply a revocation matter.
Yeah, so that's, my original thought was I've got probation violation paperwork in front of me. That's why we're here.
I'll be
And so,
blowing up.
when were you retained, counsel?
This morning, Your Honor.
And you were appointed or retained?
Retained by her husband, Your Honor, privately.
Yeah. So yeah.
Party girl, right now.
Yes.
I like that
Perfect.
she was
Let's
afraid.
have arguments on whether, she's only there on this, or is she there because common pleas wants her there?
She was just given a bond on the common pleas court case, Your Honor. It was a $5,000
Thank you, Flusher, for a comment I can't say.
scram monitor with drug and alcohol counts.
What's your expectation about whether she'll be able to pay that bond?
I anticipate that with the assistance of some family members, that she will be able to make that bond.
How soon?
I
Within a
anticipate
week.
within a day or two, Judge.
Oh.
She also, to my understanding, has a holder out of Franklin County, which will have to be.
She ain't going nowhere if she's got a holder.
So,
Oh, so Franklin County may say keep her until we can resolve our thing?
I anticipate if this court says bond that she will post that
I'd like to
bond
see
and
it.
be transported to Franklin
She should take the mask off.
County.
Okay. Well, we're not going to move forward with all this sort of stuff going on. If this was a Stansbury case, I'd rather have him resolve it anyway. So let's do this.
I'd be
Your lawyer was here. He did a great job. He showed up. He stepped right up and made sure that he was representing you. So you've got a lawyer here who's doing his job.
This guy seems like he'd be really good
Then
school teacher. He's constantly complimenting people, telling them good job.
The case is continued for hearing before Judge David Stansbury. So that's the first part of the order. Let's make sure that she's advised. Ms. Dirth, you are advised of the nature of this violation. I read you a list of things that the probation officer said you didn't do. Did you hear me when I said those things?
I did.
Counsel, is that sufficient to say that she was advised of that?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So I will order a $1,000 cash bond.
Pretty low.
Continue case.
Paid more than that.
This is the last time you'll see me on this case, counsel, or even Judge George. It will be whoever's got her over across the street, come and please. Whoever's got her in Franklin County, and then our colleague Judge Stansbury.
Understood. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Thank you, Mr. Tabor. That
This
case
guy's
is
just
done.
rotating
The
through.
next
I
case
mean,
I have for the jail is State v. Flanagan.
Flanagan.
Flanagan, Carl Flanagan.
Oral Flanagan.
Mr. Flanagan.
Hello.
Today is Thursday, the 21st of July. Do you remember what day you were first put into jail?
I've only been in here like 2 days. I got sentenced yesterday on two theft charges. They sentenced me to 2 years probation. Give me 176 days, and they put them on the shelf and give me 3 days in jail.
Which judge was that?
What judge was that?
The old one.
Yeah.
Judge Brandt that filled in.
Judge Brandt.
Judge Brandt was sitting for Judge George yesterday. So you have another case in this courtroom with Judge Mike Brandt. And now we're here on this one. Is that what's happening, friends? Do we agree? All right. And so Judge Brandt wants you to sit there for, you said 3 more days, sir? Is that what you said?
He gave me 3 days incarceration because my mother is in ICU unit at Lincoln Memorial Hospital. She's got COVID and she's really bad sick. She got pneumonia and there's nobody at the house.
I understand. I just want to make sure we all agree what's happening. If my friend Judge Brandt
at the house
gave you 3 days yesterday,
the house
that
can take
means you're not going anywhere today. You know that, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
And so they will let you out whenever Judge Brandt said to. That's not my affair. That was the other case. I'm now going to alert you to a new case, and I'm going to tell you what it is. I have a complaint here from the Licking County Sheriff who alleges that you, on the 4th of January of this year, in Hanover Township, did knowingly with purpose to deprive the owner of property valued less than $1,000, obtain or exert control over that property without consent of the owner. If true, that's a first-degree misdemeanor theft charge. First-degree misdemeanor theft is punishable by a fine of up to $1,000 and a jail sentence of up to 6 months. Mr. Flanagan, I'm not asking you if you did it. I'm asking you, do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, good. And hopefully you were listening when I was chatting with the other defendant, that this is the time where you get to enter a plea.
Defendant.
There's 3 different pleas that are possible. And folks in the courtroom and the folks in the jail, if they can hear me, listen again.
You might have. He's not there today.
There's guilty, there's not guilty, and there's no contest. Guilty is, I did it. I broke the law. I'm ready to be sentenced.
I know. I'm sorry.
No
It's really
contest is,
loud
I'm not
when
gonna
he
argue
talks.
with
When
the
anybody
complaint,
talks
I'm
at the
ready to be
podium.
sentenced.
Yeah, that podium
And
is
not
hot.
guilty is, I want a trial. Let's do this on a different day. I may come back with a lawyer. I want all those rights. And the judge, I don't have any opinion about which one you take. I'm not trying to convince you.
It sucks
to do
because
any
he's
of
at
them.
Knox
I just
level
want
and
you
the
to fully
judge is right
understand
here
your
and then
options.
everybody else.
Do you need me to explain any of those 3 options any better for you?
No, Your Honor, because I talked to the plaintiff. I talked to her, and she knows. I made arrangements to take care of what I had done, and she said that would be fine. So, I mean, I worked things out with her. I didn't know the case was coming, you know what I mean?
Here it is.
So
So would you like to plead guilty, not guilty?
I would like
or
to
no
plead
contest?
guilty, Your Honor.
Mark the bagger
The
really.
question I'm
got
about to
himself
ask
cut.
you is not me trying to talk you out of it. I'm required to tell you a couple things, so listen carefully. Do you know that you don't have to plead guilty?
Yes, Your Honor.
Has anybody threatened or promised you anything if you plead guilty?
No, sir.
You know that if you plead not guilty, you could have a full-blown jury trial if you wanted one with a lawyer and the jurors, and you could present evidence and witnesses. You could make the prosecution prove their case. All of the rights that attach to a defendant in a jury trial would be yours if you wanted them, if you pled not guilty. Do you understand that?
The Fandango.
And by pleading guilty, you're giving up all those trial-based rights. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. I think you do understand what you're doing. And I think you made a voluntary, intelligent, and knowing waiver of your rights to trial. And
Good
therefore, I've entered a conviction of guilt on this charge. Why don't you tell me about what happened that day? Because I have to make a decision about what your sentence is going to be. So why don't you tell me a little bit about what happened that day?
I had took a what was supposed to be a catalytic converter off my neighbor's car, and I got cut, and it left my DNA there. That's how they found out that I did it. But my mom is really good friends with the neighbors, and I talked to them and told them, if there was anything that I could do to, that I had the part that I took off the car, so she wouldn't have to pay to have it, re-put back on. I gave her that. I just made amends to take care of things.
Got it. Well, I think you're being honest with me.
I think so.
It sounds like you were honest with the officer when the officer talked to you.
The judge is laughing.
So being honest is a good thing to do once you've been caught doing something. It's better to be honest
Supposed to
about
be
it.
the
So good for
catalytic
you.
converter. I cut the muffler off of it, Your Honor.
Before you were in jail, have you been working, sir?
No, I've been taking care of my mother. She's been sick. So, for the last 3-4 months, of her being hospitalized and back in and out, I've just been taking care of her.
Speak up,
How
sir.
long has it been since you've worked?
It's probably been,
50 years.
I want to say a good 6 months since I had a regular job.
And what kind of job was that?
I was doing painting and construction with my neighbors that live right next to my mother.
How are you currently paying bills?
Catalytic converter from.
I've been living with my mother for the last 6 months, so she's been paying the bills.
She's been living with me, Your Honor.
What's the longest time you've ever been in jail?
The longest time I ever been in jail was I went to penitentiary in 2005 for a drug charge, and I got out in 2010. So I've been pretty much
5 years. And then, are you still on parole from any offense?
No, sir.
Are you still on probation for any offense?
I just got probation yesterday on the 2 charges that I had. I got 2 years paper, and he gave me 3 days.
Okay.
2 years.
Anything else you want me to listen to, sir, before I set an appropriate sentence?
No, sir.
All right, give me a moment, please. I got to fill out some paperwork. Just hang there for a moment.
All right.
Hang lucid. Oh, this guy's great. I thought his first appearance was good. The second's even better.
Yeah, no, I really love the honesty.
I let my DNA create everywhere.
There you go, Buster Crash. Tom Waits, man. I love Tom Waits.
Very sure. I hit an artery. Blood was everywhere.
DNA just exploded all over that catalytic converter.
Took a dump under the car, too. It was rough. Tons of DNA. Tons.
I love seeing repeat customers.
The DNA was steep.
Where's that catalytic converter now, sir?
Bend over.
It's at my mother's house. She hasn't asked me to take it back down to her. I just told her it was there if she needed it, but she had already had the car fixed.
But if she didn't, I'm
But
selling
she
that.
knows I got it.
It's on Facebook Marketplace, Your Honor. Craigslist.
Are you looking to get one, Your Honor?
I called Tradio the other day and had a bunch of people calling me
Okay.
back.
Here's what we're going to do, Mr. Flanagan. I am glad that you have been honest after having been dishonest. That sounds odd, doesn't it? It's dishonest to steal from somebody. That was the wrong thing to do. You should not have done that. Of course, you knew that, but you have to be punished for that. But you have been forthcoming about what happened, and that helps you. That's in your favor. The fine is $1,000. I will suspend $750. Suspend means you don't pay it.
I'm
Means
broke.
you're
Do you
gonna
mind if I
owe
sell out that Catalytic
$250.
converter to pay this by any chance?
I'm gonna
I'm
be
not going
flush
to
with
charge you
cash.
court costs or probation fees. Jail of 90 days. I'm going to suspend 87 days.
Let's see. How
And then
many?
there's 3 days credit
3.
because you've served 3 days.
47,000
As
days.
part of my order, you do have to return the property to the victim if she wants it. So I would make sure I would do that. So you will
One
get out
time.
whenever Judge
You give me
Grant lets you
1,000
out,
days
which
in
apparently
jail.
is a couple days.
Yes.
You will not owe any time on our charge here because it is running concurrently with this time you're in already. So I have not added to the amount of time you're in jail.
I thank you, Your Honor.
You're going to have to, when you get out, you're going to have to come over to this clerk's office and find out from them what your payment date is. And you're going to have to make sure you pay it.
Stay away
If
from
you
my
don't
car
pay it,
parked
you'll be
out
back
back
here
in
in
the
court.
courthouse.
There's a bunch of jail time hanging over your head. You don't want to have to go back to jail because you didn't pay it. You understand that, sir?
Yes, sir.
Any
Got
questions for me about this sentence?
No, Your Honor.
All right, good luck.
All right, thank you very much.
Next case, I have State
I love that guy.
versus ODER.
I hope he's got some
Odor, I
money.
presume. Am I pronouncing your name correctly, sir?
Licking County.
Yes, Your Honor.
ODER, is it Odor?
Odor, yeah.
Odor.
Odor. I have
Mr.
a,
Odor.
well, let's start out with, today is Thursday, the 21st of July. What day did you go into jail?
Sweat does not.
I went into jail yesterday.
Yesterday was Wednesday.
Yeah.
How did you come to encounter somebody? Where did the police find you yesterday?
I was sitting over at Shamrock. It's on Mount Vernon Road.
What's Jamrock?
And they noticed you and they came and got you. Okay.
Well-
So that tells me you've been in jail yesterday and today. So you've been in jail essentially 2 days. Does that sound right?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to read you a charge. The Newark Police Department has a citation here where they allege that you on the 20th of July of this year, 20 July,
Odor in the court.
in the city of Newark, did receive, retain, or dispose of property of another, knowing or having reasonable cause to believe that the property has been obtained through commission of a theft offense, which is styled as a first-degree misdemeanor, receiving stolen property. First-degree misdemeanors are punishable by a fine of up to $1,000 and a jail sentence of up to 6 months. So my first question, Mr. Odor, is, do you know what I'm talking about? Are you familiar with this charge?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? Okay. And so that's apparently why you were arrested. That's why
Yeah.
are you currently having any other judge that you're seeing about another matter right now?
Are you dating any other
No.
judge?
So it's
Are
just
you
this
single?
charge here.
Yes, Your Honor.
Right, Ed?
So we're now at the part where you're going to have to
Yeah,
enter
right,
a
heard.
plea of either guilty, not guilty, or no contest. Were you listening when I talked to the other defendants?
Yeah.
So guilty means, yep, I did this and I broke the law and I'm ready to be sentenced. No contest means I'm not going to argue about the complaint. I'm not going to dispute it and I'm ready to be sentenced. And not guilty means, yep, I want a trial on a different day. Maybe I'll get a lawyer. It's up to you. I'm going to bring evidence if you don't have to, if you don't want to. But
Get the
you could.
idea, Judge. We know.
Get the prosecutor prove the case at
we
the
went
trial.
through
You get all the
You looked
trial
to
rights that come along
explain
with
things.
pleading not guilty. Do you have a question for me about those three options and what they are?
No, Your Honor. I don't. I would like to plead not guilty.
Okay, that's right. Whatever plea you choose is the one I want you to have. It's got to be your choice. So
Make the
I'm going
choice.
to plead not guilty.
Is there any possible chance of me getting an OR?
Yeah, well, now we're going to talk about a bond because the purpose of the bond is to ensure that you attend the trial that's coming on this charge. Because when you pled not guilty,
No
you're saying,
shit.
yep, I want a trial. And so
Yeah, sure.
I've got to set a bond. Sometimes it's an own recognizance bond. That's what OR stands for. And sometimes it's a cash bond.
He is
And
thorough.
that's going to depend on your answers to the following questions.
No stone
So
unturned.
before you were in jail, were you working?
Yes, Your Honor.
Where were you working?
I was doing landscaping jobs. I was doing them with my cousin.
Jacker.
Your cousin have a landscaping company?
He just kind of does his own little side subcontracting thing.
All under
he
the
pays
table.
you or
We
the
don't pay any
owner?
taxes, sir.
So he puts
pays
up
me.
And how many hours a week were
little
you
things you
working
rip
before all
off in
this
the
started?
bottom. He puts them on the telephone poles around
35
the-
Okay. And where were you living?
with
Cut
my grandma.
grass.
Okay. And that's your
My
house,
uncle's
that's your
grass.
residence.
Yeah.
All your stuff is there.
Yes, Your Honor.
How long have you lived there in your grandmother's house?
It's roughly a year and a half.
Okay, you've not lived anywhere else in the last year and a half except grandma's house?
Yeah, I haven't lived nowhere else but there.
Okay,
A lot
and
of people
prior to
live with
living with
grandma.
grandma, where were you living?
Yeah, mom kicks him out.
My ex-girlfriend, me and her had an apartment together.
What town, what city?
We were in Newark.
Newark. And grandma's in Newark?
Yeah,
And how long were you living with your ex-girlfriend in Newark?
about 2 years.
So for the last 3.5 years, you've been living in Newark?
Yeah.
And
What's the
where are
best thing
most
your
of the
grandma
jobs you
makes
do? In and
for
around
you for
Newark, or
dinner?
you go drive far away?
We go to like Pataskala. We have a couple jobs in Newark. So yeah.
Okay. And do you have a car?
I do not at the moment, but my grandma takes me anywhere I need to go.
Grandma's with it. Grandma knows what's going on. She's trying to help you out.
Yeah.
That's real.
What's the longest time you've ever been in jail?
I haven't.
This is your first time in jail?
Do jury
Yeah.
duty with
How
your
is it?
son?
I mean, I don't like it.
Yeah, it's not fun. Okay.
No.
Give me a moment, please.
Yes, Your Honor.
Send us a link so we can sit there and listen.
God bless.
You got what's mower? Is it a riding mower? What kind of mower you got? This is like the
Yeah.
Nazi judges.
You like them 0-pointers, do you?
Yeah. How much you guys charge if I got an 8.5? Just wondering. So what you doing at Shamrocks?
Given the fact that you've lived in the same place and you have a job, I am granting you an own recognizance bond and OR
Wow.
bond, so you will not have to pay.
Good for you, Odor.
If you, for some reason, would not show up for the trial date,
Yeah.
there'll
I'll
be a
kill
warrant
you.
issued for your arrest. They really do come and get you.
Okay.
So, and from there on in, I don't know any judges who would give you an OR bond.
Oh, got one
Right.
shot.
And so
Yeah.
this is kind of your first chance to prove that you're able and willing to show up for a court hearing that you're required to show up for. And so if for some reason you were to take advantage of that and not show up, you can expect, number one, to be arrested and taken to jail and probably will stay there until the trial starts. And you can expect that no judge would want to give you a bond of OR after that. So if you are given a chance, you should take advantage of your chance. Any questions, sir?
No, Your Honor. I'd just like to say thank you.
All right, good luck,
Oh,
sir.
Thank you. Wow,
Call the
politeness
next case.
among criminals. I like
Love
it.
it.
Scuffle Bean, am I pronouncing that correctly? Scuffle Bean?
Is this
Could you pronounce your last name for me so I can say it the same
Name
way?
for today?
Did I say it correctly?
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon, Mr. Stufflebean.
I don't.
Today is 21 July. It's a Thursday. Do you remember what day you entered the jail?
No, not exactly. It's been about 10 days ago.
About 10 days.
I like when you
Is
two
there some
talk
other
through
judge
money.
who you either have seen or about to see on another case?
Called Money Talks.
Yeah, I got an APA holder.
So no matter what I do today, you know you're staying there. Is that right?
Yeah. I had a felony case and it got dropped, and I got an APA holder.
Okay. I like to set expectations for people, because sometimes people are confused and they think I have the power to release them if I don't. And in your case, I don't. Do you understand that?
Yeah, definitely not.
Just want to set your expectations.
This
correct?
ain't this dude's
So
first
we are
rodeo.
arraigning you on a charge
Job.
put forward by Newark Police Department. And they allege that on the 19th of July of this year at 8:15 in the city of Newark,
Should be
that
good.
you were driving on a suspended license, a non-compliance license, under 4510.16 of the code, and that you had tags that you failed to register. And so,
19th of July?
Say
What, you
again,
make them
please?
yourself?
On the 19th of July?
It says 7/19/2022, yes, at 8:15, which I presume is military time, which would be the morning.
That would have been 2 days ago.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. Yeah, no.
No.
That was the summons. Sorry. 10 July. That sound right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn it.
I read the wrong line. 10
Threw that
July.
on a
You were right
technicality.
to call that out. We want to make sure that everything we tell you is correct.
Yeah.
It is the city of Newark and it is Charles Street, but it's 10 July at about 8:47 p.m. Does that sound more like it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it makes more sense, doesn't it?
Is that a jailable offense?
Well, it's jailable in that it depends on, it's a first degree misdemeanor punishable by a fine of up to $1,000 and jail sentence 6 months. At least the non-compliant suspension is. The expired tags is not. I'm wondering, you must have been stopped for this and then they saw that other issue and that's why you went in. Does that sound right?
No, I'm not in jail for that.
For which?
Either one of them, anything to do with this.
I'm on vacation.
I'm in jail for a felony.
That's my point. What I'm saying is you were not in jail on the 10th of July. You were running around in the free world, right?
Yeah.
They pull you over.
And I
on
did
this
go to
thing.
jail on the 10th of July.
I beg your pardon, sir?
I didn't go to jail on the 10th.
You're out on Saturday.
When did you go?
A few days later.
Okay, on a different thing.
Yep.
Yeah, not my business. I don't care about the different thing.
Yeah.
I just think you're being arraigned here in jail because that's the time to arraign this. That's all.
Yeah,
This is
most
not
definitely.
something someone would
I'm
normally
just
be in jail.
passing through to say, hey,
I'm just gonna plead not guilty.
Yeah, that's fine.
I don't know what it is.
Let's do
I'm
that.
just-
So you understand what it is. And
Yeah.
so let's just put that down for you and you be on with your life here. Give me a moment.
All right.
He's like those
Yeah,
guys
listening.
that graduated from high school 10 years ago and
I'm good.
they come back
Good.
just to walk through and go by and see all his favorite teachers. He's just passing through to see all his favorite judges. And I just passing on by, seeing Bailiff
And so
Johnson.
we
over
got the two charges. I'm entering not guilty on both of them.
All right. Thank you.
Yep.
I'm out.
The clerk will give you a hearing date. Just make sure you're square with that hearing date. I'm going to call it an OR bond just because of the nature of this offense.
Okay.
Oh, so he's
Square up.
being
with
released
whichever-
off of those charges.
whichever
He's still in
judge is
jail.
interested in
Yeah.
talking
You
to
ain't going anywhere, but it makes
All
you
right.
good. Look at him. He's smirking.
Thank you.
All right, you're good. Thank you, sir.
Show eyes.
Never been on TV before.
They
I'm so
wanted me to put
excited.
that where I put it, but they'll know it's OR because I wrote OR. The next
Thank you.
case. Yep. Is that it for the jail?
All right.
I'll bet. That one little box at the very bottom, I just realized I didn't hit it. Yep.
Right here, you need cash assurity.
How about the bailiff has to go over everybody's paperwork?
He's a secretary.
Yep. And then
This
down
one
here,
This one here says
Sign here, initial
Yeah.
here,
probation fee.
prick your finger and put the blood here.
yeah, I'm hoping to
Uh,
do no probation. I'm hoping
Totally
just
up
without
to you. I
probation.
kind of
But
want to
That's just no fee,
see.
right? And no
I
probation.
think there's only like 3 or 4 people in the crowd.
Got it.
Yeah, we'll go through the courtroom.
And I have done.
While we got a second, don't forget coming up 4:05 East, we got a Chase Thirsty Thursday edition. Got some good drunkards.
That's the
for you.
dirt. All right, in the
They're
courtroom.
not drunk. They're just
I'm
drinking.
looking for
Very share.
Benjamin Juday.
I wanted to punch him in the face.
Your case, counsel, you've been patient. Thank you. Would you pronounce your other client's last name for me?
Jude, Your Honor.
Juday?
Jude.
Good afternoon, Mr. Juday.
A great name.
And this is Mr. Tabor.
Correct, Your Honor.
And
Mr.
we're here for
Tabor.
Arraigning on 3 charges?
Correct.
That sound right?
Yep.
All right. So, Mr. Juday, I have 3 complaints here from the Licking County Sheriff, all of which arise from facts
Juday.
alleged to be on the 23rd of June of this year in Etna Township. The
You
first
could've
one
paid
is
me.
that alleges that no
Juday.
person shall knowingly cause another to believe that the offender will cause serious physical harm to the person or property of the other
He's got a
person.
good wife this time
The
around,
person's
man.
unborn or a member of the other person's immediate family. Styled as a first-degree misdemeanor aggravated menacing. First-degree misdemeanors are punishable by a fine of up to $1,000 and a jail sentence of up to 6 months.
No trend.
There is a second charge on the precise exact same M1. So there's 2 M1s for aggravated, and look at that, 3 of them. So it's
Look
the same.
here. It's another one.
290321. It's the same level of misdemeanor. It's a first degree misdemeanor, but they are being charged separately as 3. Counsel, is that your understanding as well?
It is, Judge. I've had a chance to involved in this case since shortly after the date of the alleged
Oh,
incident.
let me get some chicken, baby.
They just opened up one in Vegas, actually, first one.
Counsel for the state. And so we're aware of the charges as they're filed. They were filed yesterday. We've been very proactive to get Mr. Jude in here today so that he can be arraigned on them. He's prepared to waive any further reading of the complaints. He's
Good.
prepared to waive any
Thank you.
further acknowledgement of the penalties.
Thank you. Appreciate it. That's good. So I have it's orange. I have an orange bond recommendation from the law director's office.
Okay.
Mr. King, is this your case or are you just coming down for something else?
I'm coming down for a later.
Always welcome. You're always welcome.
Doctor, what are you doing here, doctor?
So what they've indicated, Mr. Tabor, is that although they're deferring to me on what bond is appropriate, they want me to consider the seriousness of the offense, and they want a no contact order with Leslie, Christopher, and Michael Harmata. That is, I'm just reading for you what's the first thing in my file. That's the recommendation from the law director's office.
I understand.
So I'm interested in your thoughts and what your recommendations are, and then I'll make a decision on, I'm presuming we're pleading not guilty to these and we're going to set a bond.
Hey, look, a red piece or orange piece of paper.
The court accept our pleas of not guilty.
Fully marked it.
With regards to bond, my client has no issues with a stay away order from these individuals.
Here's that guy
Incident,
from Strawberries.
involved
That's why you just said that.
confrontation.
So they must have something a little bit later.
Road rage type altercation.
These
where,
are previously unknown to your client?
Correct.
Okay.
And he has no reason to have contact with them in the future. So any issues with a stay away order, my client would be in agreement with. With regards to bond, generally, my client is
Boy, big guy there in the audience got that man spreading happening, huh?
2 young children.
Google in New Albany.
Hair them balls.
How long employed at Google?
January of 2020, Your Honor.
2 years? Good. Okay, 2.5 years, all right.
He has 2 young children, Your Honor.
Congrats.
And he's the primary financially for his wife and 2 children.
Breadwinner.
They all live together in a home. So he's got a good, stable, drug-free address. He has no prior
ties to the community.
So in light of that,
I was
Your Honor,
thinking
we
about
would
that
ask
too, Carol.
you're
The
setting a
one with the
recognizance bond on
boobs.
behalf of Mr. Jude. And certainly he'll honor any stay away orders requested by the state.
Yeah. And that's the home is in Baltimore?
Yes, Your Honor.
How long have you lived at that place?
I believe in March or April of 2020 as well.
Okay. All right. Anything else when we listen to?
No, Your Honor.
I got 3 sets of paperwork, if you bear with me, and then we'll catch up on what we're going to do.
Talk amongst yourselves. Feel free to man spread during this break.
Yeah. Do it.
You see that lady was picking her toes with the boobs?
Potentially. It's funny that Carol said that because there was a couple of times where it appeared that she almost could have been. I'm there for a second. Well, we got a second while he does his paperwork and messes it up because the bailiff's got to bring it back to him and show him some more boxes to check. Did we mention Friday night, 9 o'clock East? There it is. We're hitting it heavy. It's going to be fun. Twitch only, by the way.
It's a big party. Bring your own booze. Bring your own snacks.
Yep.
We'll provide the entertainment. Kind of.
Sort of. Going to be talking over the dispatchers, as they say.
Barely. He's a road rager, Creed. But he does have a wife and kids, so that's good. That means he's stable.
Didn't he say he's got to stay away from 3 different people, too?
Yeah. 3 different people. Maybe they were the ragers.
Okay. Mr. Jude, I do not have an opinion on the facts of this case. I will not even be someone who's going to hear the facts of this case. I do have an opinion on whether or not you go anywhere near the
right here, G. Stephen
and
O'Dell.
grant you an OR bond, and you are to go near none of them. I just put all Harmatas of all sorts, the little ones, the big ones, whoever they are. I don't know. Just the fact you don't know them anyway shouldn't be a big deal. You shouldn't care.
I understand.
That's
Nice.
any contact of any sort. If you feel like you need to talk
Stay
to them, I'm
away.
sure your lawyer has an opinion
Other
about that.
effort.
You can call your lawyer and he can give you some advice about how you might contact them about something involved in this case. Your lawyer knows how to do that. So I've entered 3 not guilty pleas. I've entered OR bonds on all of them. You can go to the clerk, go get a copy, be on your way.
Thank you, Your Honor. May I approach?
Yes. Sure. Yeah, I should have gotten it from you earlier. Thank you, Mr. Taylor.
There's $100 bill in there. Be careful.
Oh, good. That's good. This is an efficient use of your time. Here is that file.
All right, let's watch one more, and we're gonna
Taylor, do you have
cut her a little short. Mikey has some packing to do. I got a little eBay to do. We got Chase coming up 405 East.
I didn't know if the court would call that
I
case.
want lunch.
It was for an arraignment.
It was, Judge.
I will probably issue a warrant. I don't know anything about it, but we typically use it from the warrant. If you call back to the clerk, they'll tell you whatever bond I put or whatever amount to pay, but I haven't looked at it yet. So if there's a stack of things in chambers for me to review, that's probably there.
Okay, I understand. Thank you.
Have a good day, Mr. Tabor.
You too. Thanks, Mark.
The next case I have is Jacqueline Barry, Barry.
Jacqueline. No, Barry don't know.
Barry. Will you give me a second here while I catch up with what this is?
Somebody is renting it is, and it's not in my name, and it's not in anybody else's name. It's in somebody else's name.
Wonder how it
It looks like at some point
Probably terrible.
you had a public defender named Catherine Warren. Is that a Franklin County public defender?
Franklin
What?
County.
Let me make sure I got the right file. You're Jacqueline A. Berry.
Yeah.
I have a letter that's been stuck into my folder that says, "To whom it may be concerned, please see the attached letter regarding defendant Jacqueline Berry. These cases are currently in warrant status as counsel for Ms. Berry here in Franklin County." She says she's your lawyer in Franklin County. You don't know who I'm talking about?
You sure
Do
about
you
that?
have a lawyer for any matter?
No.
Have warrants in Franklin County.
The paperwork that's attached says that you were involved in a catch program, changing actions to change habits program. You know anything about the catch program?
Yeah, I'm in catch.
Maybe you just met her and forgot her name.
Yeah.
Because she's
maybe.
talking all about your
What'd you say the name was?
Catherine Warren, W-A-R-R.
I think we call her Caroline. So, okay, that's why I'm confused.
Okay, yeah, she's Catherine with a K.
I call her bitch.
Does that sounds familiar?
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Just wanted
call
to know
her
that was the first thing
with
I
a
saw.
K.
Another name with K.
And so, give me a second.
Are you sure? Because
I'm the dude.
Is it possible that this all started with a driving under suspension and unauthorized plates and speeding and seatbelt violation?
Yes.
No, I don't believe so, Your Honor.
2019?
no, that's
right?
not me.
Yeah, and I also don't understand why I'm going to trial. Maybe I pled not guilty back then, but I don't. There's no reason for that. I don't know why.
Well, I will tell you the most recent paperwork
I'm here
that
for
would guide
underage
me as to
dog.
what this is that there had been a warrant issued for failure to appear for a previous trial on the charges that I just mentioned.
Right. Yeah.
And so that warrant was issued, what day was that? 7 April of this year.
Yes.
And so I'm going to guess that, did you encounter a police officer who told you about the warrant, or how did you know to be here today?
Okay. So. I
Caroline
was in the
told me.
Lighthouse program.
Yeah.
Through Catch Court.
Sure.
And they move you around houses.
Yep.
So I just never got anything in the mail. I just never got the mail.
Well, what is that guy
probably
doing to
sent
that
me
other
out,
guy
but
in
they
the
moved
back
me
there?
Houses 3 different times. So, and then now I work full time and I'm in the
Jesus,
Build Back
dude.
Better program at night, which is through Franklin County, and it's a workforce development program. And they told me that I had a warrant because for jobs and stuff, it doesn't look.
That's the people who told you to be here.
Yeah.
The JB back
The
there.
important thing is you're here.
Yeah.
Look at this beard.
They brought me out.
I think we're going to have to set a bond because I don't have a prosecutor here ready for trial. So I think we're going to have to set a bond. Mr. King, I know it's not your case, but if someone from your office is not here and she was called originally for DOS trial, my guess is we're going to set.
Oh,
a
yeah,
bond
and you don't wanna
appeal for a different day, which we
Step on other judges' stuff, you know what I mean?
Got to keep going.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
No, thank you, Larry.
It may be that you've never been arraigned on this. Have you been? Thank you.
That's ain't happening over here.
Which day was that?
Not that it's not interesting to watch. I'm just saying for us that
Not a good fit.
She's been arraigned. She's been arraigned. So, all right, well, we need to deal with the warrant is probably what we're doing here,
Yeah,
is
that's right.
because there was a warrant issued for your failure to appear, we need to get this straightened out. Where are you currently living, ma'am?
I live on the west side in Franklin County.
West Side?
In a house, apartment, a group
I now
home?
have my own apartment. I'm out of the
With my
You
program.
have your own
grandma.
apartment?
Mhm.
And are you working?
Yes, I work full time at Donato's Pizza.
Is the
and
doors
at night I
locked
go
right
to
now
the
or
Better
unlocked?
That's,
She works at Noble Roman's
and
Pizza.
where are you working?
Donato's Pizza,
And how many hours?
like 30.
Are you on probation or parole anywhere else?
Yes, I'm on felony probation in Franklin County.
Okay, how often do you talk to your probation officer there?
And you never had a
I'm
lawyer?
only seeing her once every other month, and I go
No,
drop
no,
off.
I don't have a lawyer. Never have, never will.
And when's the last time you saw her?
Felony
last
probation.
Thursday.
Nope.
Actually, last Friday morning.
No, no, wrong
She had
girl.
no issues?
No, she just told me to get it handled. I'm doing everything.
She knew about this?
Yeah, she told me to come, and I had already called down the day before I went to go see her. They told me to call the day that I could come and get put on the docket. So she's been working. Well, I've done everything that she's asked me to. So
Good.
Yeah.
That's all we can do is move forward to the right things. Even if we did the wrong thing in the past, we try to do the right thing going forward, right? Make sense?
Yes.
Yes, Judge. Judge Sweetcake.
I'm confused. Did he not say that she had some warrants even in Franklin, but she's on felony probation? This one's kind of a mess, and she ain't helping much when she says, "No, I don't know."
It seemed like he meant like the warrant.
I'm going to grant you an OR bond
Oh.
primarily because you have a job and a place to live. The history of this doesn't give me great confidence, but you are in a fixed place and you have a job, so that gives you an incentive to return because all of that would be turned upside down. Have you been to jail? What's the longest time you've been in jail?
50-something days.
Yeah, no fun.
Oh no.
Don't want to do it again,
No.
right?
Yeah, and it was Franklin County, so yeah.
Yeah, I hear that. And so
Yeah, orange
key to
shirt.
staying out of jail in this case, which is a dumb case to be jail on, is to show up and make sure you're completely square with the clerks. So
Stop
go make
breaking the
friends
law,
with the clerk,
asshole.
Get a phone number from the clerk. Say, where can I call or where can I go online, and make sure I'm always aware of exactly where I need to be. Make sure they have your stuff, and they're going to issue a date for you to come and have a trial, or else the prosecutor's office will talk to you about a plea. But let's get squared away. You understand, man?
Okay, yes.
Oh, absolutely.
Good luck.
Nothing to worry about,
Go
Judge.
see the church.
All right, with that, we are bidding you adieu. And my new favorite camera. I don't.
We need somebody to translate all that and let me know what it says, please, and thank you.
Anybody have any friends in Russia? I believe that's Russian. I could be wrong, but that's what I think. Anyways, appreciate you guys hanging out for We Got a Case. Don't forget, We Got a Chase coming up 4:05 East. It's Thirsty Thursday today.
The drunks are out. Be ready.
Yep. Feel
All
free
right,
to have a drinky poo if you'd like.
Or maybe snuggle up on the couch with strangers. That's
Is
all
he-
you get to.
He almost is sleeping like a toddler, I feel.
Oh, wow. They're cutting the cam. Oh, I was going to say, what the hell?
It's just YouTube. It's been doing that a little bit there.
All right, guys. We appreciate if you haven't already liked this video, please take a minute and do so. If you like this kind of thing, we do have a case only channel. We Got a Case on YouTube. You can find it there. Oh, your wife is from the Ukraine. She can read it.
Well, please
All
do
right.
translate and tell me what the hell is happening here.
Well, she's not making sweet love to you. Have her translate that for
Oh,
us.
it's Ukraine? All right. I don't know.
Same thing, right?
School was a long time ago.
It's all right. They're nowhere even near each other. All right.
I was thinking, but I mean, listen, I understand people do that for cars, but for a couch, I don't think so. Could be wrong.
Maybe. Those balloons look really fresh. Definitely not 16 days old.
It's a sham wow, Ed. Okay, Vince. God bless.
Maybe. We'll see you later. Until next time. Bye, Creed. That's it.